Stephanie, wanted to start with you. Tell me a little bit about why you wanted to found this organization.
So Recovery Build in particular addresses a need on Cape Cod that we've seen for a long time for young people, for teens who have substance use challenges and may or may not have gone into treatment and come back to the high school and the people and places and things that really kind of facilitated their substance use in the first place. And Behavioral Health Innovators has been working with teenagers for the 2.5 years we've been in existence, and we had a youth summit in May last year and really asked the students there, high school students and middle school students came to Four Seas College, and really asked them, what was going on, what they needed, and what they kept saying is they need space. They need their own space to talk and support one another around these issues. So Recovery Build really came out of a program that started in the 70s down in Houston, Texas, and they were called alternative peer groups. And they existed in neighborhoods and church basements, and they were sober, fun activities for young people, as well as 12-step meetings. And we really didn't have anything like that. We don't have that in the Northeast at all. So that's how Recovery Build was born, and found these two amazing women to create the program with us, and we're really thrilled about the program.
So let's talk a little bit more about the program. And again, getting teens together and having them have their peers to talk to one another is so very important. So let's start with you, Amanda, as a counselor. Tell me a little bit about your background, what drew you to this program, and the kind of things that you do with Recovery Build.
Sure. I've been on Cape Cod the last 15 years. I got my master's degree from Boston University 4 years ago. And with that, I became a licensed clinical social worker. And I've been working with teenagers since about 2010. I was working at a residential home. And I realized that when these children were placed, that we could spend a lot of time skill building and they could be with their peers. But then the minute they were not placed anymore, they kind of went back to the way everything was. So when I heard about this job starting, the alternative peer group to give teenagers a safe place where they could be, sort of act their age and have a place where we could be non-judgmental and compassionate, and they could speak to one another, in general terms.
Wonderful. And Megan, for you?
Yeah, I've been a recovery coach for a number of years. I really, really enjoy helping people just find what their path of recovery looks like, and that can take many different forms. And I think that sometimes we underestimate what a teenager can sort of bring to their own journey, and I love to empower people, and especially, again, teens. We don't always give them as much credit as I think that they deserve. So I think it's really great for me, because I love teenagers and I love their new perspectives and all that. I really appreciate that about them. So I just love having them in that space and sort of creating a space for them to just be themselves, for them to be able to express themselves, to talk to other teens that have, a similar journey to walk. And I just find it really exciting to see what the possibilities are for people of that age group, that maybe they don't have to go as far down the road as some other people have with substance use disorder. If we can address it early, then it's like they just have so much potential and so many wonderful attributes, and we want to celebrate that and encourage them. And
so Monomoy High School in Harwich on June 23rd, 11:30 to 1:30, Yogis Unite for Recovery Build. What's going to happen at this fundraiser?
That's a great question. There will be an all levels yoga class, and when we say all levels, they're accessible to any body. And there are 4 teachers from the studio, Power Yoga Cape Cod. I'm one of the teachers, Jill Abraham, Susanna Vanderwend, and Lee Alberti will be teaching kind of a round robin. And there will be prizes and opportunities to meet the sponsors. We have a number of sponsors already that are excited about the project. And it'll be a place for families and teenagers to come and just really connect, and there'll be other resources for families there. And hopefully, it'll be a place for teenagers to try a yoga class.
Wonderful. And really, I think it's great that you have the 4 different teachers, so you can kind of get a sense of these different styles. And I've taken classes with some of these teachers before. They're amazing. And just the fact that it's kind of entry-level yoga, all levels, so you can come in. You don't need to do a handstand.
Correct.
Or anything like that to be able to do that. So how do people get tickets for this event?
That's awesome. So they would go on the Dennisport, Power Yoga of Cape Cod Dennisport workshops page and sign up for the event. And it's a $50 donation that's recommended. And all of the proceeds goes to Recovery Build to support us this year and to continue the project, in the years to come.